Hello and welcome to Hello Friends. Mera Bharat Mahan. Let's check out previous Wednesday the 4th of May to Wednesday the 11th of June top 10 headline news stories from across the nation and beyond. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday called upon citizens to reinforce their dedication to environmental conservation and acknowledge the valuable contributions of those working at the grassroots level to make the environment greener and better. Sharing his thoughts on the occasion of World Environment Day, the Prime Minister posted on X. This World Environment Day, let's deepen our efforts towards protecting our planet and overcoming the challenges we face. I also compliment all those working at the grassroots to make our environment greener and better. On the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lead a special tree plantation initiative at Bhagwan Mahavir Vanasthali Park in New Delhi, reaffirming India's commitment to environmental stewardship and green mobility. The Prime Minister will plant a banyan sapling under the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam initiative. This will be part of the Aravalli Green Wall project, which aims to reforest the 700-kilometer Aravalli range. The project is a major initiative to expand green cover within a 5-kilometer buffer zone around the Aravalli Hill Range in 29 districts across 4 states, Delhi, Rajasthan, Haryana and Gujarat. It aims to boost the biodiversity of the Aravallis through afforestation, reforestation, and the restoration of water bodies. The project also seeks to improve soil fertility, water availability, and climate resilience in the region. Additionally, it will benefit local communities by providing employment and income generation opportunities. The Prime Minister will also flag off 200 electric buses under the Delhi government's Sustainable Transport Initiative, promoting clean urban mobility and symbolizing the nation's collective responsibility towards ecological balance. During his recent visit to Kutch, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met a group of women who had shown remarkable courage during the 1971 war. As a gesture of respect and remembrance, the women presented him with sindoor saplings. Deeply moved by their gesture, Prime Minister Modi said he would plant the sindoor at his residence. Fulfilling that promise, the Prime Minister on Thursday planted the sindoor sapling at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg on the occasion of World Environment Day. As the BJP-led NDA government completes 11 years in office, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership has received acclaim from India's sporting community. Athletes and former players have highlighted the government's focus on sports infrastructure, athlete support, and national security.
As Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi completes 11 years in office, India's transformation is evident. The government's unwavering support for sports has led to initiatives like Khelo India scheme. On the strategic front, Operation Sindoor marked a significant milestone. In response to the April 22nd terror attack in Pahalgam, India launched a swift and decisive operation targeting terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan, showcasing India's commitment to safeguarding its citizens.
Srija Akula, India's rising table tennis star, praised the Modi government's sustained efforts to empower young athletes. She pointed to initiatives like Khelo India that have helped develop grassroots talent and build a competitive sports culture across the country. Akula also spoke about Operation Sindoor, launched in response to the April 22 terror attack in Pahalgam. She described the swift military action against terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan as a strong demonstration of India's commitment to protecting its citizens. As Prime Minister Modi completes 11 years, India's transformation is clear, Akula said. Operation Sindoor was a key moment. Alongside sports initiatives, these efforts have given young athletes the confidence to dream big and aim higher. Former badminton player and coach Vimal Kumar also highlighted the government's focus on improving sports infrastructure and athlete welfare during PM Modi's tenure. He said the past decade has seen a significant rise in momentum and international success for Indian sports. As someone who has represented India, I am encouraged by how sports have been prioritized, Kumar said.
As a sports person who has represented India for many years. I'm truly encouraged by the way our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has supported and elevated the status of sports in India over the past 10 years. We are witnessing unprecedented momentum from improved infrastructure and athlete welfare to international results. The vision to bid for the 2036 Olympic Games reflects a bold and progressive mindset.
The appreciation from the sports community underscores the broader impact of Modi's government on youth empowerment, sports development, and national security as it enters its 12th year in office. India's External Affairs Minister Drive South, Jaishankar on Thursday said platforms like UPI, Aadhaar, and DigiLocker could transform trade ties with Central Asian countries. He expressed India's readiness to collaborate on digital public infrastructure and innovation. Speaking at the India Central Asia Business Council in New Delhi, Dr. Jaishankar noted that technologies such as e-commerce, blockchain, and digital payments are reshaping global commerce. He said the application of AI and digital platforms would unlock new opportunities in trade and connectivity. He highlighted growing financial cooperation between Indian and Central Asian banks, including the opening of special rupee Vostro accounts. Closer ties between banking sectors, he added, would enhance regional economic engagement and build long-term trust. The Business Council meeting was jointly organized by the Ministry of External Affairs and FICCI, bringing together the foreign ministers of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan to explore deeper trade and investment collaboration. India has consistently strengthened its outreach to Central Asia through high-level dialogues and multilateral forums. On Friday, June 6, Dr. Jaishankar will host the 4th India-Central Asia Dialogue in New Delhi. The previous edition of the dialogue took place in December 2021, also in the Indian capital, reaffirming New Delhi's strategic engagement with the region. The flood situation in Assam continues to remain grim, affecting 1,494 villages across 66 revenue circles in 21 districts, according to Assam State Disaster Management Authority (ASDMA). Nearly 6.69 lakh people have been affected by the first wave of floods this year. Over 14,978 hectares of agricultural land are submerged. In the past 24 hours, 2 deaths were reported, raising the death toll due to floods to 14. Meanwhile, rescue and relief operations are ongoing across the state, with 405 relief camps and distribution centers set up. The Central Water Commission reports that several rivers, including the Brahmaputra at Nimati Ghat, Tezpur and Dhubri are flowing above the danger mark. Other rivers like Burhidiang in Dibrugarh and the Kopili in Kanpur and Dharantul have also crossed danger levels. In Barak Valley, the Barak, Sone, Rukni, Bholeshwari, Katakal and Kushiara rivers are also flowing above the danger mark. Authorities have issued alerts in sensitive areas. In a proud moment for Assam and Indian sports, Olympic medalist Lovlina Borgohain, along with Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, inaugurated the Lovlina Borgohain Boxing Academy in Barchandra, North Guwahati today.
শুভ উদ্বোধন উপলক্ষে আজিৰ অনুষ্ঠিত এই সভাত উপস্থিত থাকিবলৈ পাই মই সঁচাকৈ গৌৰৱ অনুভৱ কৰিছো। আজি 5 জুন বিশ্ব পৰিৱেশ দিৱস আৰু আজিৰ দিনটোতে এজুপি বৃক্ষ ৰোপণ কৰি আমি লভলিনা বক্সিং একাডেমি আৰম্ভ কৰিছো। গছ এডাল যেনেকৈ ৰোপণ কৰাৰ পিছত লাহে লাহে সুন্দৰকৈ আগবাঢ়ি গৈ ই এক বিশাল বটবৃক্ষত পৰিণত হয়, তেনেকৈ মই আশা কৰিম যে এই লাভলিনা বক্সিং একাডেমিও এডাল বিৰাট ডাঙৰ বৃক্ষলৈ যাতে ৰূপান্তৰ হয়।
This landmark event marks the realization of Lovlina's long-cherished dream to empower youth and cultivate world-class boxing talent right from the grassroots level in the Northeast. Strategically located in North Guwahati, the academy is the first of its kind in the region, boasting a standard 26x26 boxing ring, a fully equipped gymnasium, and infrastructure designed to hone the next generation of champions. To make it affordable, the academy charges just 500 rupees per month, with training available for 3 age categories, 8 to 12, 13 to 18, and 18 plus. With passion, purpose, and power, Lovlina is not just building an academy, but a legacy. At the BSF headquarters in Palura, Jammu, the spirit of Operation Sindoor is alive and unshaken. Between May 7th and 10, our brave BSF soldiers faced intense cross-border shelling from Pakistan. Many were seriously injured, but today, they have returned, healed, strong, and ready. In an exclusive to Doordarshan, a soldier declared, "We gave Pakistan such a reply that their future generations will remember. This is India. We act more, speak less." During Operation Sindoor, BSF forces destroyed multiple Pakistani posts and terror launch pads. One soldier even lost a leg, and yet, a month later, stands tall, ready to serve again. BSF Dick Prabhakar summed it up best. Their courage remains intact. And if Pakistan dares again, we're ready. This is the will of India's frontline warriors. This is Operation Sindoor.
जे इंजरी हुई है, ये मेरी कोई कमजोरी नहीं है। ये मेरा उन सभी, ये मेरा शौर्य का जो प्रतीक है, जो मेरे उन सभी साथियों के लिए ये गौरव की बात है, जिन्होंने जो है देश के लिए जो है अपना बलिदान किया है। टांग मेरी ठीक हो गई है, बाकी अभी मैं फिर इस तरह का कोई यदि पाकिस्तान की ओर से कायराना हरकत किया जाता है तो उसका मुंह तोड़ जवाब देने के लिए मैं अभी फिर से तैयार हूँ। अभी सर जज्बा, उस समय मेरा जज्बा जो था बहुत हाई लेवल का था। उस समय मैं और मेरे जवान जो है मोर्चों में डटे हुए थे, जिससे कि हमने ये हमारे को जो पहले ही मोटिवेट किया हुआ था, हमारे कमांडर्स द्वारा जो है हमारे को बताया जाता है कि किस सिचुएशन से हमने किस तरह जो है निपटना है। उन्होंने ये हमारे को पहले ही बता रखा था। मैं अपने जवानों के साथ जो है लड़ाई कर रहा था। लड़ाई के दौरान हमने देखा कि काउंटर पार्ट के हमने एक पोस्ट को जो है बुरी तरह से तबाह कर दिया है, और साथ ही उसके जो छिपने के लिए जो बंकर है जहाँ से वो अपना फायर करते हैं, उसको 2 बंकर को भी हमने बुरी तरह उजाड़ दिया, और वहाँ से सैनिकों को भागते हुए भी देखा हमने।
किस तरह का एक्सपीरियंस रहा था उस समय जब पाकिस्तान की तरफ से फायरिंग और इंजर्ड होने के बाद
हमने ये हमारा पहले से था, हमारे को जो मोटिवेशन था, तो हम पहले से ही अपने उसके मोर्चे में जो डटा हुआ था। मेरे को जो कई बार पूछा गया, जो कई बार मेरे जो जवान है जो अभी नए भर्ती होकर आ रहे हैं, जिनकी 4 साल 5 साल की सेवा है, वो मेरे से कभी पूछते थे, सर के आपकी इतनी लंबी नौकरी हो गया, क्या आपने कभी कोई लड़ाई वगैरह या और किसी इस प्रकार हिस्सा लिया? तो मैं बोलता था कि यार अभी तक मैंने इस प्रकार का कोई हिस्सा नहीं लिया मैंने। तो अभी ये मेरे लिए एक मौका मिल गया मुझे सिंदूर ऑपरेशन में शामिल होने का। जब ये हम इस सिंदूर ऑपरेशन में शामिल हुए तो गर्व हुआ, और मैं ये बात अभी सभी को ये देख लिया मेरे साथियों ने, मैं सभी को बताने के लायक हूँ कि मैंने एक ये लड़ाई लड़ी है, और उसमें मेरी ये टांग गई है। ये टांग मेरा जो है आगे के लिए ये एक सबूत है, गर्व की बात है मेरे लिए, बहुत अच्छी है।
अगर आपको मौका मिलता पाकिस्तान के साथ युद्ध करने का, अभी भी आप तैयार हैं?
लड़ेंगे जी, कई लड़ाई लड़ने के लिए हम तैयार हैं। और मेरे में ये टांग का जो है बदला लेने की जो है मेरे मन में है कि अगर कभी इस तरह की कोई पाकिस्तान की ओर से नापाक हरकत किया जाता है तो हम उसको मुंह तोड़ जवाब देने के लिए तैयार हैं।
Shri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine in Katra has once again come alive with a surge of pilgrims, as the number of visitors crossed 41,000 for the first time since the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam. Undeterred by the intense summer heat, devotees are making their way to the sacred cave shrine, driven by deep faith in Mata Vaishno Devi. On Sunday alone, 41,523 pilgrims paid obeisance at the shrine, marking a significant rise in footfall. This resurgence in pilgrimage comes as a strong message of resilience and devotion following the Pahalgam incident, with thousands continuing their spiritual journey despite security concerns and weather challenges. Authorities have maintained enhanced security measures and logistical arrangements to ensure a safe and smooth smooth yatra for all devotees. A major maritime emergency is unfolding off the coast of Beppo, Kerala, where a container vessel, Vanhe 503, caught fire following an explosion early Monday morning. The distress alert was received by the Indian Coast Guard around 9:30 am. The Singapore-flagged vessel was en route from Colombo to Nhava Sheva port in Mumbai with 22 crew members on board when the explosion occurred, approximately 88 nautical miles from Beppo. Indian Coast Guard units were immediately mobilized. By 12:40 pm, the fire had spread to multiple containers, forcing the crew to abandon the ship using life rafts. So far, 18 crew members have been rescued by the merchant vessel MV1 Marvel, diverted to the area by the Maritime Rescue Coordination Center, MRCC, in Mumbai. One of the rescued is reported to have sustained serious injuries. However, 4 crew members remain missing, including 2 Taiwanese nationals, 1 Indonesian, and 1 Myanmarese. A Coast Guard Dornier aircraft is conducting aerial surveillance to aid the search and assess the evolving fire situation in real time. The Vanhe 503 is currently adrift as Indian Coast Guard teams begin firefighting operations. Officials are working to identify the type of cargo on board to better understand the risks involved in containing the blaze. The Coast Guard is coordinating closely with the Directorate General of Shipping, local authorities, and the vessel's owners. Their immediate priorities remain saving lives, extinguishing the fire, and preventing any environmental hazards. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Tuesday described Pakistan as Terroristan, urging the international community to adopt a zero-tolerance approach to terrorism and nuclear blackmail. Speaking at a joint press conference with EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Kaza Kallas, in Brussels, Dr. Jaishankar emphasized that the current situation should not be viewed as a conflict between two states, but rather as India's legitimate response to cross-border terrorism. The distinction must be clear. This is not a conflict between two states. It is India standing up to terrorism, said the External Affairs Minister. EU Representative Kaja Kallas strongly condemned the recent Pahalgam terrorist attack and reiterated the European Union's support for India's right to protect its citizens in accordance with international law. Dr. Jaishankar is currently on an official visit to France, the European Union, and Belgium from June 8 to 14, 2025. The India-EU strategic partnership has deepened in recent years across multiple sectors, gaining fresh momentum following the first-ever visit of the EU College of Commissioners to India in February 2025. During the ongoing visit, Dr. Jaishankar held the strategic dialogue with High Representative and Vice President Kaza Kallas, and engaged with senior leadership from the European Commission and European Parliament. He also interacted with key think tanks and media representatives.
We strongly believe that there must be zero tolerance for terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. In that context, it is also essential that we never yield to nuclear blackmail. This is a shared and interconnected challenge for the global community, and it is imperative that there is strong international cooperation and understanding on the matter. So finally, let me conclude by thanking High Representative Kallas for her welcome, for her hospitality today, and I look forward to continue. But to the second one, I'd like you to understand, this is not a conflict between two states per se. This is actually a response to the threat and to the practice of terrorism. So I would urge you to make it, don't think of it as India-Pakistan, think of it as India-Terroristan. You will then appreciate.